and brine applicators as well in order to make this safer for drivers. But all of the officials that we've talked with say if you can, they'd like you to stay inside just so that everybody can be safe out here and just enjoy the snow. So where we are on Shawnee, just near 11th Street, this parking lot really hasn't been touched so far, and we have seen about a few inches of snow here falling, and we're expecting to see even more as this snow continues. Karen, back to you.
Well, Naomi, there'll be a lot of kids will be out enjoying the snow tomorrow because the storm has really forced many Green Country schools to reassess their plans. In fact, Tulsa, Jenks, Union, Sand Springs, among others, giving students a full snow day tomorrow. They're closing. It is virtual learning for some other districts, so you'll want to check. For a complete list of the closures and virtual learning days, head to our website. We have everything you need so you can plan ahead for tomorrow as you start your day. Now, 2 News Oklahoma's Brody Myers is in McAllister tonight. He is live there. Brody, you've been there all day long, and I understand that the further south we go, the deeper the snow is getting.
It is bad down here, Karen. You're talking to a lifelong Oklahoman, and I would have to go back 10, 12 years to think of a time when it has really come down this hard. We're talking 6 to 8 inches easily here in McAllister. Got here about noon, and it just kept falling and falling. Earlier today in downtown McAllister, we saw a handful of cars come and go, but the roads were treacherous, to say the least. McAllister predicted to get north of 6 inches when it's all said and done, and I think that ship has already sailed. Still, Joe Ward, who lives down here, was cruising his ATV around when we met up with him.
I've been out in it all morning. No, they're all slick. They're slick. They got ice on the bottom of them and snow packed on top.
Now, Joe was having a bunch of fun, and he was very kind to us, but that driving was against the city's wishes. They say they have crews out working the city streets, but really just would like people to stay home. City Hall will be closed until at least 10 a.m. tomorrow. Good news, we haven't heard any injury crashes here in McAllister. Traffic has been fairly quiet. The George Nye Parkway behind me, a semi-truck comes just about every 5-10 minutes or so, but otherwise it's pretty quiet, pretty eerie out here. A couple of warming shelters. The All Saints Episcopal Church open until 10 a.m. on Saturday, and the Hope House, an all-women's shelter, will be open. They're over at 1210 East Cherokee. It's been a quiet day in McAllister, and we'll check back with you again in the morning. Back to you, Karen.
Okay, well, hey, Brody, right what you were saying about all-terrain vehicles, yeah, we've seen a few of them over here in downtown Broken Arrow as well. That is where I am tonight. And one thing I also want to mention, the last time we had a winter weather team coverage event was almost a year ago, and I was making a point then about how the snow that night was so powdery and light, you couldn't make any decent snowball. Yeah, not the case tonight. Check this out. I got a prime snowball fight snowball right here in my hand. And by the way, I also caught up with another couple earlier in the day, also avoiding any stress on the road by just staying home.
Hunker down with a fireplace and a frozen pizza. That's my advice.
Pizza. You speak from experience?
Yeah, we just had a frozen pizza.
Yeah, the Owlberries you just heard from played fetch with their dog Maverick while the snow was a lot lighter. That was also when there were a lot more cars on the road, including the 14 dump trucks City of Broken Arrow dispersed across the city. Their street department workers are pulling 12-hour shifts to plow and treat the roads. The mother and daughter I spoke with later at the library took advantage of just that.
I think the roads have been okay. So far, they don't look too bad. I don't know what happens when the sun goes down, but so far they seem okay.
City of BA's taking pretty good care over here.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah, after sundown, that is, the snowfall has gotten a lot heavier, but we have also been seeing the snow plows and skid steers, Caterpillar skid steers, piling up some of the snow to try to keep the loads not too heavy out on the roads. There's another ATV, as we said. Elm Street, over here in Broken Arrow was also quite heavy, quite dangerous, but like I said, some snowplows and other vehicles from the city out trying to alleviate some of that stress for drivers right now. But that's the update here from Broken Arrow tonight. Back to you, Karen.
All right, Samson, thanks so much. Now, early on, the roads weren't too bad, but it was like flipping a switch later this afternoon, and especially once the sun went down. We have seen a number of wrecks, and some have been treacherous. Now, we do want to tell you about a school bus with kids on board colliding with a sedan. That happened just before 5 at the corner of East Admiral and South Memorial. Now, the bus did have 7 middle schoolers and high schoolers from KIPP Preparatory on board, and thankfully we're told that no one was hurt in that collision.
All the time, like when they pulled like directly in front of me, I couldn't stop.
Well, Tulsa police are investigating the crash and whether the road conditions and the weather were factors. Now, of course, we are keeping a very close eye on this weather right now. Michael, you have been tracking it for days. How's the radar shaping up right now?
Yeah, we've still got the snow coming down across much of the area. And of course, looking here outside from the Renaissance Hotel, you can see the steady snow here in South Tulsa. Looking at dual Doppler with the radar, we notice those darker blues. That's more in the way of some moderate snow. The whites here are some light snow, but what we've got here is this kind of off and on light to moderate snow that will likely continue for the next few hours. Steady snow here to the south and east, but boy, the snowfall totals really adding up south of I-40. And you can see the light to moderate snow here, pockets of moderate snow all the way up into southeastern Kansas as well. We'll break down the amounts and get a look at when we'll finally have a chance to thaw out in just a few more minutes.
Your first forecast, sponsored by Burgraff Disaster Restoration.
In the No, not yet. Go, Kathy. I'm Kathy Tatum on West 51st, where we are just pulling up to the intersection of Highway 97, where they are closing the highway right now. It's too treacherous to be out here making the 51 going from Highway 97 to Skyline Road. But in the time that we've been out here, just a few minutes, we've already seen half a dozen cars just go right around this barricade. It's not safe. It is just treacherous. We have seen several accidents out here tonight, and some of them were on Riverside. We saw one by Skelly, and we saw another one at 51st and Riverside. And what do you know? If you come back to me, we have another car that looks like it's just about to go around this barricade, if you can believe that. It's just silly to do that, and people are doing it one after another. If you see a barricade, it says road closed, don't go around that barricade. It's not safe. Out on the highways tonight, we've seen people skidding and fishtailing because the snowpack and the ice is building up. It's just not safe to do this, folks. Please, if you have to come outside and you see a road closed or a slow down sign, slow down or stop. Otherwise, stay home, stay safe. Karen, now let's toss it over to you.
All right, Kathy, good advice there. And I'll tell you, even as I've been standing here for the last 20 minutes or so, watching some of the cars going by here on Peoria, some are going by at a pretty good clip, others taking it slow but sure. Now, with all of this snow falling and the temperature changes, some of the flowers are freezing. Take a look at this. They're frost flowers over at the gathering place. Now, apparently, the science behind this, they form as plants transport water up and down their stem. Now, when the air temperatures dip below freezing, but the soil temperatures are above freezing, it causes the plant stem to crack and release water that turns to ice. And that's what creates these flower blossoms, these frost flowers, if you will. Pretty unique. I know, Michael, you're all about the science of weather, but I suspect the storm is keeping you a lot busier than looking at these flowers.
Yeah, certainly has been a busy evening across green country. How about some of these snowfall totals that are coming in? These are some of the latest totals that we've got. McAllister, 8 inches of snow. Wilburton at 7 inches. Okmulgee at 6 inches of snow. 5 inches of snow. Shakota, and just had an update from Broken Arrow, up to 4 inches, and officially at the National Weather Service in Tulsa on the east side of Tulsa, 2.6 inches of snow officially. Here's the view from Mark Fulta, our storm chaser. He has been out keeping an eye on the snow this evening. Look at the roads here across areas near downtown and also into East Tulsa. He's been all over the place, and you can see those roads. Yeah, it is a rough go. You're going to have to take it slow. There is Mark here, and of course, there is the Rain Tech weather chaser there where Kathy was reporting from, and we've still got light to occasionally moderate snow coming here here into the metro. Again, the deeper blues more in the way of moderate snow. The whites that you're seeing here, some light snow, and it's just going to continue kind of between the two during the overnight hours. But a better chance to just see a steady moderate snow here to the south and east, where we've already had some significant snowfall totals. And again, some spots here, 6 to 10 inches of snow, and we've already reached that level in many locations. And there might be some isolated spots that maybe could exceed 10 inches of snow. The snowfall amounts will taper off quite a bit as you go farther to the north and to the west, where 2 to 4 inches looks a bit more likely. And again, the road conditions are going to be the worst thing with this system. We're not going to have to worry about bitter cold or those dangerous wind chills, but the road conditions are going to be a problem. And again, south of I-44 and especially south of I-40, it is really going to be extreme. There's going to be some roads just completely shut down, especially as you get into southeast Oklahoma, some of those mountain roads. It is going to be a really rough go because the snow is piling up there. Much more difficult to remove that snow than, say, some other spots. Here's the view from Brookside, Peoria. A bit slushy right now. The road has been treated, but again, that snow is still coming down and trying to build up a little bit. And look at the view here from Wade's RV and Highway 75 in Glenpool. Highway 75. Snow covered at the moment. And again, looking here at the big picture, much of Oklahoma continues to see snow, almost the entire state with the exception of far southwest Oklahoma and the Oklahoma Panhandle. Snow will be moving out tomorrow morning. We say goodbye to that, but still cloudy and cold tomorrow afternoon. Sunshine should return as we go into Sunday. That'll be our best chance this weekend to thaw out. Tomorrow we'll just barely get above freezing, but again, that snow should taper off early in the morning hours. I don't think we'll have any, maybe a couple flurries into the afternoon. We'll have to watch for refreezing overnight Friday night into Saturday morning, and then a good chance with some sunshine this weekend to thaw out. So hopefully we'll get some good melting. But with some of those higher snowfall totals, especially southeast, it might take a while, and those temperatures should stay above freezing as we go into next week with warmer numbers toward the end of the week. Those highs will be into the 50s, but may cool it right back down again as we go into next week. And we'll get another look at dual Doppler radar coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Michael. Well, responding to a winter fire is a challenge that really no fire department wants to handle, but that is exactly what happened in Eufaula. Crews in McIntosh County were called to a fire around 3 this afternoon at an indoor marijuana grow house off of Burks Road. Now, the weather really complicated their efforts, the chief says, with poor road conditions and freezing temperatures really slowing down their response. He says the fire burned for hours, destroying the structure. Despite the freezing cold, the Oklahoma Standard was shining through as volunteer firefighters answered the call.
Well, obviously getting here, getting the personnel here. We're a volunteer fire department, as most of McIntosh County is. I think we have one paid fire department here. But we do have good turnout, especially whenever it's a big structure like this. When you call in the cavalry, they're good about coming to help other departments.